Hello and welcome to Stochastic Agency. My name is Brian, and today is August 5th, and we have mistakenly, for RPG a day, because we weren't wearing our glasses, mistaken the 6 for a 5, or 5 for a 6. I think you understand what I mean. But we're going to run with it anyway. And tomorrow, we'll talk about fairies and see what the quest is going to be. However, today we're going to take a step forward before we take a step back and write a rumor about a portal, or at least how rumors get started. The Dark Door. The morning business at the Nesting Hole was far lighter than Brandon had expected. Few people gathered in taverns to recall the night of Shimmer's descent. Many people could barely remember if it was night or day 2 years ago when clouds of shimmering color had come down from the heavens. But Brandon was sure it was night. The only thing people did know was that many things had changed in the world since then, and not all for the better. Brandon was sure it was night because he saw things in the darkness that others didn't notice. He had never spoke about what he believed was how he had changed that night when the colors had come through the walls into his room above Mance's alley. When he entered the Nesting Hole, he was pleased to see that Michael and Thomas had already started their morning meal at the guard's table, a place that had become a staple in the larger inns and taverns where people gathered not long after that night. Thomas noticed Brandon approaching. As vigilant as Thomas ever was, he could tell something was already wrong. "What will you be going on about this morning?" Thomas asked, egg on toast halfway to his mouth. "Go on and get it over with," Michael added, not looking up from his bowl of porridge. "There's already been talk of thievery and thuggery this morning after last night." Brandon just sat, placing his guard's iron-bound club on the table. "Do you remember me going on about that doorway on Mance's alley last year? The one my window looks down on?" Thomas stopped chewing. Michael looked up at him with a reluctant stare. "You mean the one about the deep shadows in the doorway? You've been jumping at shadows ever since—" His words were cut short by a flick of Brandon's hand. "The same, but not shadowed. Black as Daniel's forge cat. On top of that, there was a drunk wandering down the alley. So I watched him. Stick his arm out to steady himself on the door that should have been there. But he fell into the black." A few tables away, Claudia could overhear the men at the guard's table scoffing at what she had overheard while she was cleaning up. She lived on Mance's alley on the street floor, and had heard someone in the alley pass by her window mumbling in his drunken slur of a morning that was lighting that alley. When she opened her window to look out, she saw no one on the ground by the doorway. She also did not hear anyone cursing their drunken fall, and none of it made sense, that is, until now.